Right. And this explains why Ikaruga had the Eastern Mountain Range sealed off. I'll also pitch in when I can. Though it seems like I'll be busy with a few things in Liberl and some other places. Well, well, speak of the devil. That's right. I know I've more or less handed over the reins to you and the others, but there are still a few loose ends to tie up. I'd also like to help Albert as much as I'm able before I return home. I appreciate that. But my return is overdue. I already extended my stay more than 3 months past my original exchange period.
I see. So you went off your beaten track and did your rounds in the Leva district. Yes, I did. Would you mind if I let him in on this, Jin? The very same, where we went up against the True Grievance Brigade. It was the largest anti-immigration faction before the Guild, your team, and the CID arrested the group's every last member. Since then, we've caught signs of entirely new anti-immigration factions beginning to emerge. That's hardly surprising. Due to their small numbers, not even the police are aware that they exist. What confuses me more is that these groups seem to be active outside of the Republic as well. The one where Toa helped search for missing migrants from the north, yes? As I recall, the True Grievance Brigade was allegedly looking to scout people of white descent to bolster their rank and file. Then subsequent investigations by authorities revealed there was a different broker working with them behind the scenes. Yes, I'm happy to be back, fam. It's been a while since I last fought alongside you all. And that's especially true for you, Bearguard. I'm sure I will learn much while working with you. I heard that. I would ask for your thoughts, but I'm sure you'd only say, "It's pretty all right," or "Looks easy to move around in." Huh? You really think so? Moving on. I'll remove my bracer emblem and accompany you for the rest of the afternoon. I'm ready to begin our 4SPG work anytime. Oh, Agnes isn't here? It would have been nice to work together. The Merhian Garten, the VR simulator developed by the Marduk company. Jin did mention this to me in passing. That said, I find it difficult to believe Marduk would throw the task of reclaiming their own service over to the Epstein Foundation. I've heard the Society utilizes an enigmatic system language known as the Astral Code. No doubt they have specialists capable of handling such technology. I concur. Though Marduk aside, I can't help but sympathize with the Foundation. Naturally, you can count me in as well. I can't turn a blind eye where the Society is involved. Could this be a new version of the shard search we've used before? It doesn't matter what they're planning. We won't let Ouroboros have its way. Riverside. It's always pleasant around here. I wonder when they'll finally announce a Mishi and Boots sequel. Not that they'll be going as buck wild as you did. I imagine they're creating a vendor list for supplies the school needs, for clubs and the like. Revising it ever so slightly every year is always the student council's first assignment. I know as well as any how taxing student council work can be at times.
Sounds as though you have company. I take that to mean you arrived at a good stopping point?
Say, why don't you stop by for a little while, if you'd like? Not in the way you're likely thinking, just to be clear. I thought I'd offer you some tea, as thanks for today. Days such as this make me so happy we found our way back to each other. I'm glad we can spend time together like this again. So, I thought at least this much would be all right. I most certainly don't. Whatever am I going to do with you? I haven't been around recently myself. Proceed with caution, everyone. Along the way, I noticed your speed in deploying shards has dropped considerably. Here it comes! Agreed. We need to attack it with everything we have. Right. If we act in unison, we can... It seems to have disappeared.
It's remarkable how simple it is to pick them out of a crowd. If I remember correctly, the Chardon is the longest-standing theater in Edith. Well, well. Forgot something, did we? Gloria La Revue is the stage play adaptation of that story. Who would have thought a live performance could be so impactful? Even the temporary costume sets and lighting didn't detract from the experience one bit. Maybe Yume can see one of the daytime showings. I have to imagine she'd enjoy seeing the real show much more than the rehearsal. Is being less than persuasive one of the unwritten rules of your company? That's my line! Short time no see, Van. I hope we aren't interrupting your playdate. Oh, and Little Miss Shadow Eater. That title belongs in the dark recesses of history, where I left it. My, how cowardly. Or perhaps that wasn't a mere tactical retreat. These monsters seem much more of a threat than I'd first imagined. That's the long and short of it, yes. I had my Hollow perform automated analysis on that data as part of a request from the guild, which pointed me to the area underneath Leva, so I decided to investigate of my own accord. I briefly considered inviting Agnes along, but she seemed awfully worn out. No doubt on account of her grueling counsel and part-time work. Naturally, with the four of us together, that monster will hardly prove a match. Only you could make a line like that convincing. Well, Yorda, is that acceptable for you as well? I never imagined the day would come when we'd be fighting side by side. Agnes, she should be in her dorm room. Why, do you miss her? Aw, well, I'd be more than happy to give her a call. We have to do something. Suppression spell? Activate! What is this? Unnatural power? A mechanical body? Gerda! Van! Wait, but Agnes isn't. I'm afraid we don't have time to indulge in your delusions. Wait! Van... Get back! Did Harwood have a hand in putting together this religious farce? I had already surmised as much. Is that Agnes's? No, neither have I. It wasn't at all like the kind the Society uses. Without so much as a warning, he was gone. It's as though his very existence was simply... erased. Mr. Kincaid, I take your presence here to mean you've been following this case as well. I see the CID has grown quite adept at passing the buck. The day of the launch, yes? One has to wonder just how many strings you've been pulling in the interim.
Renne, what's going on?
What are you planning to do? Brought in another stray, have we?
Ren and Risha?
Tomorrow? My schedule is a bit tight, but I suppose I can make time. I'll come along with Agnes then.